Hello, my name is Rich. I use the he, him pronouns, and you're watching my YouTube channel where I play amazing tabletop role playing games with friends. It's Saturday here as we record, therefore, it is Star Wars Saturdays. Star Wars Saturdays is a multi year long experiment anthology tabletop role playing game experience thing where I take different RPGs, hack them, remix them, drift them, what say you, and say, hey, they're in Star Wars. And members of the Open Hearth community come together as they are able to schedule, and we play. We're playing a 3 month long, a quarterly, as we call it in the Open Hearth, of a game I hacked. One of my earliest hacks of games from way back in the day, where I took One Percenters, which is this excellent game about uh, street gangs, motorcycle clubs, in the vein of Sons of Anarchy, the TV show from FX, or The Mayans, which was the spinoff of that. Bike Riders. I haven't seen it, but not bike. Is it Bike Riders? Is it actually? I can't. Yeah. Okay. Good. Because it doesn't seem like Bike Riders would be motorcycle bike, but it's fine. The movie Bike Riders, I believe, is in a bit of this vein, but I haven't seen it yet. Cody, who scheduling difficulties today can't be with it. He said it's inspired him to be excited about this game. So great. We are playing in a timeline of Star Wars after the Return of the Jedi, but not quite to when the Mandalorian series began. There's this like 5 year period that Marvel Comics is starting to explore. I'm very excited about. So it is post Empire. The Empire is falling, and the New Republic is growing. And we've set it on, as you can see behind me, if you're watching the video, Niamos. Niamos is from Andor, but this is like 30 years past Andor. Niamos is beach planet in the vein that Star Wars planets are all one biome. And I've mixed up Niamos with the beach I know best, which is Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, which I've always found fascinating. The many, many times I went there as a child, because there's such a strict divide between the tourist beach culture right on the coast and all of the people who exist to serve the tourist beach culture who don't exactly have a view of the coast unless they travel a bit. Um, and that's what we're exploring here with as part of one of the many things we're exploring. The group is a gang, a swoop bike gang known as the Reckless Gundarks. The Reckless Gundarks have a piece of Niamos Beach, not the actual beach, it's everything west of 5th Street North on our little map. That is their territory, for good or ill. They have had some uh, some conflict with the Three Hooks gang in the past, but at current, it is a bit of a Cold War. And they have started developing a working relationship with a street gang known as the Akin clan. And they have some rivals who they recently housed, uh, known as the Gilded Fangs. And yeah, so you killed two of their members, and they weren't that big of a gang, so I guess they're probably totally done and nothing to worry about. It's just great for you. Good stuff. Congratulations. A plus. No notes. But let's go around the horn and remind ourselves of the characters who are playing. So let's start from the right-hand side of the character keeper, heading towards the left. So, Stephen, you're first. Please introduce yourself and tell us about your character, please.
Hi, my name is Steven. My pronouns are him. I'm playing Gopher, whose pronouns are she, her, and Gopher is the uh Uber Eats or DoorDash member of the gang. She goes out, she delivers for this food and entertainment delivery place, and gives the tourists a taste of the local cuisine and stuff like that. But also gets a good idea for who's got a lot of money and who we could hit and what's going on in the town. So yeah, she's also the road captain as she goes out.
A very important detail. Cool. Next up is Greg.
Hi, I'm Greg. My pronouns are he, him, and I'm playing Sen, whose pronouns are she, her. Sen is a prospect in the gang, doesn't have a job and hasn't really been officially welcomed in as a member. But she's looking for a home. She's an orphan and trying to find her place and ways that she can contribute to this group. She's just a teenager. I'm picturing maybe 16, 17 years old.
But played by a 22-year-old, of course, in the television show Our World. Excellent. Thank you so very much, Greg. Mark, you are up next.
Mark, he, them. I'll be playing Uncle, who is a he, him Clatoonian. I'm the enforcer of the gang. Was erstwhile leader, maybe, just before I got picked up by the cops and sent to jail, which is where I've been for the last little while.
And last but certainly not least is Undesh.
Hello, I'm Anders, she, him. I'm playing Granny, she, her. She's the chaplain, and I think she has just by virtue of age and experience picked up the slack when Uncle is in jail. So thinking back, she's kind of been like acting president, maybe without intending to do so. Yeah, is trying to deal with all these gang entanglements, and maybe not in the smartest way, but we'll see. Everything will work out fine, I'm sure.
Obviously. Cool. We pick up this session with the Lemmy Championship. Like the game has uh, it's game day, right? It's akin to the Super Bowl. The streets are flooded with people celebrating. There are fireworks overhead. It is a bright, gay party. Colors are being painted, not like painted permanently because the cones uh, are far too too expensive for such, but they're using like laser lights to color different patterns on top of the cones, which are the habs that folks tourists come in, and it's very expensive to live in the habs. There's posh, very executive, luxury class. So we have colors painted for the local game, which I've already forgotten the animal they're named off of. Oh, darn me. But I can remember it's the Niamos Paliki Stadium, the local Lemmy team. Lemmy is Star Wars soccer. There you go. That's it. I don't even think they made different rules. Who knows, maybe. But it's expanded universe stuff, but we're bringing it in because we can. We're not Disney, but we can. It's I've got it in a contract somewhere. Don't worry. Don't ask me to look for it. So huge, huge celebration. Lots of foot traffic out. People drinking, uh, doing various like lightly legal spice, and a fair number of shore authority folks and figures out and about. Uh, just so we like seated into the establishing shot. Go for what do you think what do we see Gopher doing amid all the tumult, delivering something or other, or perhaps heading between runs?
So I think, of course, what's happening is Gopher doesn't get in the middle of stuff. Where the game is happening, that's too much, but it's on the outside. Like the throngs of people come in where the match is being held, and she's riding around on the outside in between like different food trucks. I think she's actually ferrying stuff from places that don't have food trucks, that have an establishment that's set aside, picks it up, brings it in, and then it's kind of hawking it. So whenever people get hungry, they come out of the venue and I can get it to them then.
Nice. And I imagine you're like slowly going by in your speeder in front of a bunch of speeders that are used for tailgating, and folks are all standing around and commiserating. Uh, Undesh, what are the primary colors of the local Paliki Lemmy team?
Um, hmm, let's see. I think they are. Uh, let's go with blue and yellow.
Blue and yellow is great. Um, Greg, is it a dark blue or is it a light sky blue, do you think?
Sky blue and bright yellow.
Oh, okay. Uh, We'll go with that. Folks are like, okay, Rich keeps saying Palicki. Rich actually did a little bit of Wikipedia research to try to find a bird. The Palicki, they actually lived on Naboo, but there has been a big deal on Niamos where they moved over an entire flock and repatriated them here a few generations ago. It was an imperial thing, like, oh, look, we have our own native bird. And so the Palikir are now considered a native to Niamos, although it's a bunch of hogwash. But they are basically, you know, pelicans, but Paliki, Fred's Paliki. They're called Paliki. So that's what the Paliki. A lot of I think they have a mascot who looks like, I think there's a college football pelican mascot of some kind, so probably looks like that with the Arabesh uh, N representation of N for Niamos. So we see Gopher passing by a lot of the Palicki fans, but the competitors are from a planet known as Eriadu. Eriadu is a good bit away. Uh, this is like just for you players. I don't think your characters would know or care, but Ariadu was a planet in the Minos cluster, which was kind of outer rim. It is where when Palpatine took power, he told a great number of the uh, core world uh, elite royals, rich folks who didn't want to buy into the empire, rather than fighting them tooth and nail, jailing them, and causing a bunch of long-standing problems, he offered them the ability to go to Ariadu. And so they did. And for 30 years, a bunch of rich assholes uh, took over this planet, effectively paid to enslave most of the populace. And now they're all immigrating back to the core worlds, their homelands, but they have paid for an incredibly good Lemmy team because they needed that when they built a brand new stadium. And so the Ariadu team is the visiting team. And it turns out that the Gilded Fangs are from Ariadu, friends. So I just been sitting on that backstory in my head for a little while. I just want to share it. I don't know how maybe you know that, but now you the players know, so you're welcome. It can live rent free in your brain for a bit, just like it has mine. So we have the establishing shot. The Lemmy game is going to be happening tonight. It is a big deal. A lot of local businesses in your area, people are stocking up. The meat shop is a line, the longest line he's had. People are running out of things for the huge terrace parties. It's not quite to sunset, which is, of course, the spectacle of sunset, a big part of what Niamos says is it claims to fame. And we cut to Sen, you're on your bike coming back from the north. You've got the Faraday bag. What's changed about Sin? Like the camera picks up. Is it you've picked up a few items? You've either maybe you've been in a scrap, maybe you've changed your hair somehow, or you have a new item of clothing. What is something that the clever folks like pause the Blu-ray or the stream and go, wait a second, this is different about Sen. Something has happened to her.
I like the idea of a cosmetic change, like the hair color. I'm going to say she's cut her hair now. She's got a like a she's cut very short on one side, so
Ooh.
still like shoulder length on the other side, but shaved almost to the skull on
Love
the right
it.
side.
That is actually the first hair cut I chose for my Dragon Age Veilguard character. She now has a mohawk, but she started off with like the side, because I love that haircut. It's very amusing to me. It's very like one side, but on the other, just love it. So cool.
I'm thinking
Awesome.
of it as like an edgy teenager look.
It is that 100%,
Yeah.
no doubt. Cool. So yeah, we pick that up. You're coming in. You still have the Faraday bag. It looks like you were successful on your mission to occasionally lead them astray, the shore authority, by using the Faraday bag and heading up north to give you guys some cover. And then we cut to Uncle. So Uncle, you're in the Hooskow. You are in the jail. So you haven't been shipped off world
Right.
like Max was, but you're in I think it's what is it? It's like a holding cell with multiple potential, like I can't remember what it's called, like a drunk tank or one of those where it's,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, it's General Pop, I don't know. I can't remember. I haven't watched that Max show from long, long ago about prison and so anyway, there are a number of folks. I'm curious, Uncle, as we open up, we're doing the like harsh light sound,
Mhm.
Duracrete floor, very imperial structure for this jail. What is what do we see of Uncle, right? You've been all your belongings have been taken, of course. You're in the prison, I think like a tan
Yeah.
color prison outfit.
Yeah, almost.
But is Uncle running the roost or ooh, wave nullifier is way better. Thank you very much for the so Faraday bag. We've now changed that. We did some AMR and or ADR. I don't know, the thing where you like voice over your voiceover with the voiceover.
ADR.
It's fixed. ADR. Thank you. I was like, it's not ASMR, but it's another thing with starts with A. Wave nullifier. Thank you. But in this just bit of Niamos style music overlay during our collage montage, what's the vibe we get from Uncle in prison?
Mhm. I think Uncle is kind of laying out his back, like reclining on a Duracrete bench. The sun is coming through the bars onto his face, and he's just not peaceful, but kind of like he's resting. And I think as you pull out, you can tell that folks are like giving him. He's not like running the place, but I think folks are giving him space. Like a lot of the people in jail here are like tourists who got too drunk or like just low level low lives. And like maybe early on someone tried to give him some shit and he like put their head through a wall. And now people are just like, okay, we're gonna leave the Clatoonian alone and just let him take care of his own stuff.
Nice, nice. So we see the body language of others that they do not mess with Uncle.
Uncle's very relaxed. Everyone else is like a little bit tense around him.
Perfect. I would expect no less of our enforcer. And then the last bit of our montage is Granny. So this is big party going on. Lemmy game hasn't quite yet started. This is just everyone breaths held in anticipation of the big game, but mostly partying. The Sunset Spectral is coming, so people are headed up to the terrace. Granny, what do we see you doing when Al, Alarum CD 1752, the retired clone trooper who acts as the enforcer for Vanessa and the working girls at the motel, when Al uh, throws someone off of the balcony? What do we see Granny doing?
I think Um, I think we're taking advantage of this like almost carnival uh, situation. We've set up like a temporary bar in the what's usually the parking area of the motel. So we're selling drinks, and I would assume we don't have a permit for this, so it's like it's quick breakdown. So if we have like spotters out on the corners, so if someone sees the shorts is showing up, it's just like we carry everything inside and pretend nothing ever happened. And if we get some extra customers for the brothel, then that's just everybody wins.
Nice. So yeah, you're down there organizing that when we hear the Wilhelm scream of a guy being thrown from the oh God, I'm going to go through the European first floor. Anyway, from above, not the ground floor, but the first floor. There. First floor, over the railing, and he slams into someone's car. It is not, it's someone's speeder. It is not the thing where the car gets crushed in. It's just more like a bonk and slams into the Duracrete. Guy starts to get up, and Al brings out a blaster, like one of his old blaster. He's kept it, reconditioned it, and he's going to shoot this guy. Granny, what do you do?
Ooh, I think I like step in between and try to wave off Al. Like,
All right, first roll of the game. I think tension's involved because he's old and he's
yeah,
twitchy and he's in like murder mode. Um,
which is what I'm
Maybe
worried
he's
about.
lost it. Maybe he hasn't. We shall see. So, what do you think? I think you're trying to be cool, right?
Yeah.
Because you're trying to cool this down. Which thing are you bringing to bear?
Ooh, that's a good question. Sorry, I need to look into
That's
the
okay.
folder. Um, let's see. Definitely be cool. Um, I don't know. I mean, I'm like physically using my hands, but I'm not sure if that's the thing here. Uh, Head, maybe?
Okay.
No, that's
You trying to
thinking
logic
about
with him, trying
stuff.
to reason with him? If you think you can
No,
bring that to bear?
I mean, either it's jaw because I'm trying to talk him out of
Hmm.
it, or it's hands because I'm actually physically waving my hands. I'm not
Your
sure what.
call.
Let's go with hands because that's worse.
Oh, amazing. So bold. I think it's hard because you know Al when he's locked in. You've seen
Yeah.
this a couple of times, and that's why this is hard to talk him out of it.
hmm hmm I don't think any of my expertises apply here, and I
Sadly,
have
that's for doing things to people, not stopping things from being done.
yeah, and I have almost no cards, so I'm sure this will go great with my 4 dice. What did I need? 3 successes?
You do. You
Yeah,
need
sure.
three.
Let's
You're
see
putting
what
yourself out of
happens.
there. I appreciate this.
I get 3 successes. Four,
Ooh,
three, four, six.
that's amazing. I what does what does your bold action look like when you step in
Uh,
front? Like, why does he give in?
I think. Hmm, like I step in between, so he can't really shoot at this guy right away. And he's I think Al is like stepping along the balcony trying to get a shot.
Yeah,
So
yeah, he's
I
like up
like
above you is what I was thinking because he
yeah yeah
threw
yeah
him
yeah yeah
down.
yeah.
You're already down
But,
there, so you like, yeah, yeah, cool,
yeah, but the guy is down on the ground, so I'm kind of in between.
exactly.
So when Al is trying to get a shot, I take this guy, I kick him a couple of times, and then I grab him like by the scruff of the neck and just throw him out into the street and tell him, "You better run, or you're not going to see the game."
Nice, yeah. Guy was he's drunk. No roll. You take out the trash. He looks like he's been beaten. His nose is broken. He's human or near human. He's got some weird ear thing. Maybe he's a cast off from Star Trek. We don't know. He gets thrown out to Duracrete streets, and you can forget about him. We hear in your scene, because I don't know why, even though we're playing an RPG, I want to do cool cuts like a TV producer or something, but we hear a and that's when we cut immediately to the prison, and it's that same sound. It's now a diegetic sound, And a few Shoresy troopers come in with their six sticks, and the door opens up, and one of the imps says, "Oh shit, Rich is gonna was gonna call you uncle, but there's no damn way they're gonna call you uncle. Garadu sick."
Yeah.
Guys start like slightly shuffling out of the way, and he's come with me.
Where are we going?
He looks over to one of the guys with the big long, like I could beat you with it or I can shock you with it sticks. And he goes, "Getting out of here. Come on. Don't make trouble."
Ugh, I was just getting comfortable. All right. Like stands up to his full height and kind of shakes himself out.
Nice. And you walk past several. There people are calling out, "Uncle, yeah, give him hell, Uncle." And there are other folks that you know who you just know because you've been around. And then another and then the the holding uh gate opens up and you come into an like a checkout area, and there's a person who's pulls up a tub that has your things. What is one thing that is not returned to you?
Ooh. I'm trying to remember if I had hmm. Um I think I had, I don't remember if it was stashed or if it was on me. But I think I had some uh like a detonator from like a, not like a thermal detonator, but like detonators from like construction to like still be bad. Um
Uh-huh.
that they were like wrapped in, space duct tape or whatever. I think those are gone.
Yeah, there's they hand out your like whatever things, and then there's one sheet of paper that they slide across paper. We look, we have paper in our Star Wars.
Hmm.
Who even knew? But it's a sheet of paper that is like the receipt for the thing, and there's a description of what it was in very vague terms of the thing that they acknowledge you had this, and this is us saying we're not giving it to you.
So I'm not getting transferred off world somewhere.
Free to go. Is what the woman says. Free to go. Have a good night. Maybe you can
The
get to the
flock.
game. And they've got like Lemmy Pelicky stuff in the back. She's behind a plexiglass type thing, right? There's just the door at the end and a couple of the guys with the sticks who are waiting for you to cause a problem. But it seems like you're being left on your own recognizance. That's what the release paper says.
Yeah, I think this throws Uncle a little bit, and it's like he's expecting it to be a trick, kind of like, all right, take my stuff, keeping an eye on the guys, walk out like ready if they jump me, but they don't. It's like walk out and
Nice.
take a breath once I get on the street.
Sweet. And when you come out, the release, this is the actual station. So it's on our map. You can see it in the Shoreside Security Department. Where you are let out is the like parking area.
Mm.
So there are a bunch of shore authority speeders and speeder bikes and the like, and you see there are a few shore authority guys who are heading out to their shifts. There are not many people around. And then there is the gated area to get out of the parking because this is a secure compound where they keep their things. You've been here before, right?
Yeah.
You've been arrested a number of times. You were not given your comm unit back.
Mm.
Also, you realize as you start to head towards, and then the door opens up to the outside, and you see a few people that you vaguely recognize. Young, well, like expensive dress, but very like rich people at a beach look. Um, Girl with a pink mohawk, skinny guy who's wearing a lot of Riz kind of jacket. It looks like the Gilded Fangs are waiting for you. You can run back inside if you wanna.
Uh, who does it look like is in charge here?
Well, their former leader is not around anymore, so it looks like Wassel, the one with the pink hair and the pair of cybered eyes.
Mhm.
Your
Um,
uncle, right? Wassell calls across the parking lot.
Yeah, and I don't answer until I get close and get like a little bit too close, I think. And say, yeah, that's me. What's the occasion?
Uh, and then of the group, the the guy with the pair of cybernetic arms, Trav, he says, "I'm gonna have a conversation with you."
I'm all ears.
So you're up on them, right?
Yeah.
Cool. So he reaches real quick to try to grab you and pull you off of the compound while Wassell is drawing out a vibro knife.
Hmm. I don't think Alka likes being grabbed.
Really?
Yeah,
It could be for a hug.
I don't think it's. I'm. You gotta ask permission first.
Fair enough.
Yeah, when the guy goes to grab me, I'm gonna try and use his momentum and get him on the ground.
Awesome. Feels like a roll should happen. I think tension is involved in this role because they are planning to hurt you.
Yeah, I'm not interested in being
In
hurt.
their heads, they've game planned that they're going to beat you down within an inch of your life and drop you off at the hotel as a warning to the others. This is what their plan is. They've
Excellent,
talked about it for a while. They're all hopped up on some speed too. They're very excited about this.
excellent. Great. Let's see. I get one to start off with. Is that true?
You do.
A one. Sounds badass to me. Definitely using hands. That's 7. Expertise is assault. Does that give me one more? I forget.
Yes, it gives you one more.
One more. Yeah, so I think that is 8 to start with.
That's awesome because there are a number of them who intend you harm, and I think this is going to be kirking hard. This is like 4-on-1, and hey, guess what? When they pull you out, they have friends. They've hired the local thugs to help them with this because that's what money can do for you.
Excellent. So that's 4 I need.
You need
Uh,
4.
I'll spend, I'll spend, I'm going to spend 4. I got him. Let's spend him.
Yeah.
That's 12. Let's see how that goes.
This is going to go. Oh my Lord, I hate this die roller. It is not
9.
my friend.
9 successes out of 4. Double that.
What? That's
And no,
baller.
just one.
Just 1-1. Wow.
And that cost me a cark.
Oh yeah, that costs you a cark from the roll. I think it's ugly, right? It is not a pretty victory. There's just so many of them, but you are a stone cold badass. So
Is it possible to pull one of those that guy's arms off and start beating people with it? The mechanical arm?
yes,
Yeah, I think
the
that's what we
meat
did.
comes with it because it had like a thing that replaced the bone.
Mhm.
So it is for most people, mortal wound, but he's got
Mhm.
daddy's money, so it'll probably be okay. But yeah, it's a thing where the pain receptors kick off just before he passes out, but he does scream out from pain. It's masked by people who are screaming about the Ariadu visiting team. But yeah, then you wail on a few of the others. I think Yi turns and runs at that point. Like
That one take care.
that is not good choice for her.
I
What
think I'd go after her.
sweet. That is amazing. So you're running as we look at our
Holding the arm.
map. Yes, pardon? With the
Holding the arm.
arm, right? You're heavily armed.
Heavily armed.
Can't help it. I am a dad, so I can do occasional dad joke. I'm imagining that the alley, like they face Fifth Street North, which is
Mhm.
facing you guys, right? That's where the front of the building is. This is where the back and the parking lot. And this fight took place on Fourth Street, and she's running towards where she knows lots and lots of people are up
Mhm.
here on the strip. And you're chasing after her with the arm.
Yeah.
Um, what does it look like when you catch her?
I think there's like a bunch of fans kind of um like she's seeing like there's a bunch of people like going in a group towards either the game or towards where they're in a party, and she's like coming around the corner, like just about to get into them. Um, and like I get her like her upper arm, like pull her back around the corner and up against the wall with the other guy's arm.
Awesome. Uh, that is amazing. Yeah, so do you like pin her with the arm up against a wall? I think we will just use the Sun City Cafe. So it's a cafe, right? There's a wall, and then just right near where you're doing this, there are people seated at little cafe tables, drinking coffee and stuff. Half of them don't even notice, but like one person does that, like lean back to look down the alley where you've done the thing, and they're oh shit, Uh, and yeah, he is terrified. Gopher, you you feel just this little trickle. You've felt flashes as after effects from they remember they did Spice together, that
Yeah.
that crazy
Flashbacks.
psycho. Yeah, you have these weird flashbacks or weird impressions, and you feel a primal fear, but you realize it's not your own. It's reflected. It's someone else thinking they're about to die, and you think it's Yi.
I think at this point in my deliveries, I'm close to um the motel, and I think I see Granny out front, and I pull up to her and say, "Granny, I've got a bad feeling. Got a bad feeling about this.
What
Go,
about?
they, I, there's something bad going on, and people are scared. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I think we should go uh patrol a little bit and see if we can't find where this fear is coming from. I want to make sure that no one's going to hit us."
Nice. And as you two are talking, I'm sorry, I should give Granny a chance to respond. Sorry.
Yeah, I think uh, I'll look up at Al up on the balcony and kind of like gesture for him to lock things down. I assume we have some sort of signal.
Yeah,
Um,
he gives you a curt nod. He's going back into the room that he just threw dude out of, and you see
mhm.
him carrying one of the girls out.
Yeah, then definitely. And I tell whoever's running the bar to we're shutting this down for now. Just lock up there may be something some poodoo coming our way.
Nice. Uh, we cut back to the uncle scene, but it's a different cut. Like we can see he's like the frame is he's down here, and we're looking out past the Sun City Cafe to the street, which is just full of people. There's some kind of parade going on,
Mm.
and we see Sen with a cool new haircut coming across and said, do you not think it's a cool? I think it's a cool new haircut. Come on,
She thinks it's a cool new haircut.
okay, there we go. Sin with new cool new haircut. That's it. Anyway, you're coming back. Someone's handed you like some kind of burrito just randomly as you're driving through free. It's not open. It's not like they took a bite out of it. It's free burrito. And then when you look out towards maybe something catches your eye, you see Uncle with a bloody robotic arm um pushing it against Yi, like pink mohawk hair girl. So you witnessed this, and now we cycle back in to Uncle. Yi is she's done that thing of like turning her face, trying to look away to what she knows is coming. What do you do?
I just get up in her face and say, "What the fuck was that?"
You guys killed Leighton Ziegler. We're getting you back.
I was in jail. I didn't kill anybody yet.
You, your guys did.
Take it up with them. They're big boys and girls.
We knew you were getting out. It was an easy opportunity. You're the leader.
Oh, you think this was going to be easy for you?
She
No wonder
whimpers a
your
little
leader got
bit.
kicked, dumbass.
She's trying to do the thing of like, if I just let my body go slack, I can slide away from this. But you're holding her up, like you've got the elbow of the arm pushed against her collarbone kind of deal. You can see a bruise already starting to form. She has never, like, she has no chance at this point. She's just cowing from you, cowering from you.
So, who exactly killed them specifically?
It was it was a mess. We had a fight out at the end of the shore, and you guys brought out blasters, and I don't even know. I just know they're dead.
You aren't really smart starting to fight with someone with blasters.
I'll do whatever you want.
Who started the fight?
Rich doesn't remember. I think
Um, who started that specific fight? It was us.
Yeah.
They had stolen something off of one of our prospects' bikes, tried to sell it. We then hit them back. They then took off, and we decided we needed to show them what's what.
they just came
So
on
they
us out of nowhere. We don't even know why. She's not lying. She doesn't know why.
Well, let's get our story straight. Come on. And I like get her in a like arm behind her back and start marching her back towards the Night Blossom.
Damn, that's
Figure out
not
what
going
my
well.
knuckle has been up to while I've been.
Sin, you see, I mean, you would recognize Yi from the Gilded Fangs, right? I mean, Sin was at least had seen them. I think you saw
I
the fight, right?
Yes, I saw the because it was right across the street from the
Mm-hmm.
Night Blossom, and I was standing up on the balcony watching it.
And Gopher
Uh,
nailed Yi, so you saw Yi
yeah,
with a beat down. By the way, no scars from the beat. She should have had a black eye or something. Everything healed. Back to wonderful stuff if you can afford it. Cool. So yeah, Sin, you just see Uncle chicken wing arm this girl and start frog marching her past the shore authority, walking her back towards somewhere. What do you do?
uh, well, if the Shoresies hadn't been there, I would probably have like tried to offer him a lift or something, just because that crowd is coming. Right, that parade is right behind me. I kick the throttle on my bike and get in front of them uh, to try to get there first and let him know like, hey, there's an entire crowd coming. You got to get this off the street. But he's already
Nice. So
taken
you
care of that. So
like kind of go over the crowd a little bit and then zip across. You use Uncle Sin's right here. Bam, telling you about a crowd.
Oh, Sen.
there's like 10,000 people right behind me. We got to
You can
go.
see it. There's like vuvuzelas going on and people getting pushed into the alleyway from the size of the crowd.
An obese Gungan is holding aloft a glowing orb.
Oh my God, yes. I want to write that down.
Oh, let's keep this friendly looking then. I kind of push her towards you. Like, let's get her back to the motel and see if we can straighten this out.
Okay.
I
So
keep
Cool. Uh, screen wipe. Granny and Gopher, you guys had organized the gang for a ride when Uncle and Sin with Yi, probably the last of the Gilded Fangs. Um, blue and yellow face paint, absolutely. Uh, they show up with a member of the Gilded Fangs. Uncle, looks like everybody was going on a ride.
where are we riding to?
we were going to patrol because things seemed unsettled.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, and you're out. I didn't
Yeah,
think that they were going to let you out until after.
I didn't think they're going to let me out at all, but apparently some people had another idea.
We,
Like someone posted bail for me.
Yay,
yeah,
is that what's happening here?
her and a bunch of her hooligans decided it would be a good idea to try and jump me the second I got out. I tossed the arm in front of folks. Like it didn't work out for them.
I thought we made it clear to you that you weren't welcome here. Not without paying.
Nice. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Was got it in his head that we could pay the bail and then he was gonna take out your guy and it's all so much. I just came here to have a good time. I don't even like this.
Well, do you, Uncle, do you think they've learned their lesson?
I don't know. Do you learn your lesson?
I'll leave. I'll leave
All right.
as soon as my parents are ready to go.
I toss her the arm. Like, take this back to your boyfriend.
No,
Yeah.
no, 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 no. We're keeping that.
Oh, okay. Well, great. We're keeping the arm then.
That's our payment.
And he looks right at you, Gopher. What do you do?
I step up and I say, the difference between being in a gang and playing in a gang is that you get to go home. We're still here. So
Right.
you should really go home and not play with this kind of stuff anymore.
When you say that, all those echoes, they just quiet and then they're gone. And if you guys let her walk out of here, she runs.
Mhm. So y'all have been busy since I've been in.
It's always busy around the Lemmy match.
So we riding?
Yeah, we should ride and make sure that we all, that everything's settled. Yeah.
Let's ride then.
Nice. Riding is hard. The streets are either full or closed. So if you guys do choose to ride, you need to like kick it up effectively, change some settings so that the speeder will go 20 feet above. Or in other words, no, no, like 6 meters over. Thank God for my calculator. That way I can sound European. It's really smart of me to do that.
You don't need to translate feet. I can do that.
I know, but I have a little tool. Come on, why should I farm that out? I did all the work just because it's faster and more organic. Where do you guys want to go? The place is full of people, full of opportunities for partying. The sunset spectacle begins as you guys are setting out. You're the road captain, Gopher.
Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, we established that we go on a ride after someone gets out of jail.
That was a Blaster thing. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
Blaster's not here to ride with you.
And I think we take that ride, and during the party I think there's fireworks and stuff going on, and we spin through the better, the more party areas, to show off, the places where there would be bigger parties during the Lemmy match to show off that Uncle's out, show him a good time.
Nice. That's awesome. I love you guys going on a ride, and it seems like the perfect time for us to cut to a commercial. So let's take a mid-game break here. So you guys take your big ride. Uh, Gopher, do you imagine that you circle the city? Do you head out into the boonies? Do you head up the coast to the north, to the south?
No, no, no. We're showing Uncle off, right? So this is in the party areas here in town. and we're riding, we probably actually go right by the security department so that we can show off that he didn't get, pummeled like they wanted him to, that, we made out. Um, I think so. There's an amusement park,
Hmm.
Hologram Fun World. I think we've actually that for the game has been converted into like the team colors and all that kind of stuff and all the amusement
Well, Licky's
rides and that kind of
everywhere.
stuff have been converted. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
As we enter the amusement park, which we have a like holographic Ferris wheel type thing and various games, I think will be our first flashback to Sin's experiences on in the north of Niamos Beach. Um, I think Sin, you either see a stuffed animal or a picture of some kind that reminds you of something that you saw in the surf or in the ocean when you were north of the lights and the bustle of Niamos Beach. Was it beautiful? Was it monstrous? What did Sin think about what she saw?
Uh, I'm not sure I understand what you just described.
Cool.
I think I thought you were going somewhere else
Maybe
with
you
it, and
saw
then
something crest from the waves. Maybe you saw something on the beach, but some animal that you I've maybe heard of, never heard of, uh, a creature of some kind.
okay. I see a creature of some kind. What is it? Is that the question?
We're flashing back to
So,
when you were north and
right, right.
saw
No, I
it
got
for
that. I got
sure.
that. Okay,
The flashback's triggered by some
got
maybe
it.
Cupid
Okay.
doll amusement park stuffed version of creature.
So even though I've lived in this stretch of Niamos for my whole life, right? Because my mom was in the Night Blossom. Uh, I'm one of those like townies whose experience of the world is so like parochial, like so hemmed in by my neighborhood. Like I've never been outside the neighborhood really, uh, and so I didn't realize that there's a species of turtle that is native to stretch just like 2 miles up the road, 2 miles up the beach. Uh, that we don't get because we have so much traffic from this, the tourists and stuff. So those animals stay away, and I'd never seen these things before. Um,
Nice. Was it like one really big Titanic ancient one? Was it a series of them that were coming up the
I think
beach?
I
What did
don't know whether this is a big example of the species or not because I don't know anything about them. It was big, and it was instead of being more of a sort of a dome back, it's sort of a ridged back, uh,
nice.
and uh, so yeah, it was big. It was, let's say it was like I don't know, 3 feet across, and I kind of gawked at it when I first saw it, and now I see somebody has a stuffed version of it, uh, and somehow it just makes me think like the whole world knows about this except me.
Nice. Nice. I love that. So yeah, you see a stuffed Niamos turtle of some kind, and you recognize the ridge back. Nice. Uh yeah, let's go for how long does the ride go? There opportunities if you guys wanted to circle back to make some money. You know that you guys had closed up shop, but maybe you could circle back to that. There are, of course, lots of pings coming on your comm unit for deliveries that you're ignoring because you're out with the gang. How long
Yeah,
do
so I
you
think that
keep it
uh,
going?
typically these rides, I think we called them Phoenix rides,
Hmm.
and they go. Sometimes they're big parties, and they go all night long. Sometimes it's just to show things off a little bit. I think this one is gonna, we're just gonna feel it out, see what's happening, and you know, Uncle, what do you want to do on your ride? This is kind of your, welcome back kind of event. You just
Yeah.
got in a fight, but do you want to jump in with some tourists and drink a lot, or do you want to, fight them or you know.
I think I've made a good impression with the fighting already. I don't think there's any further violence needed there. But yeah, I think partying is high on the agenda. So after we kind of make the circuit, let's get some stuff and get fucked up.
Great. I think we have a celebration, right?
You do have a celebration. It's under the Night Blossom Motel.
Yeah.
So when you go out as a gang together to party, roll with profit spent. You have one profit against a simple difficulty. Simple difficulty is one success needed.
So what I'd like to propose here is I'm going to make a roll as the road captain
Mhm.
as to how good I can slip into uh tailgate parties.
Right.
Instead of spending our profit, we're going to slip into other parties for the Lemmy match
Nice.
and see how well that can go. Does that make sense?
All right, time to roll a die. Oh,
So
Captain.
I'm gonna roll. I think this is going to be a full roll, right? To see how well I can slip my way in,
Mm.
right?
Wait, what? No,
I'm
if
I'm I'm
so, if we're
trying to
doing
slip.
sorry, go ahead.
I'm trying to slip my way into the tailgate parties as the equivalent of a celebration,
Mhm.
right?
Okay. Okay. Cool.
So
So
what I'm
we're
doing is
foregoing the mechanical celebration. You're just this is how you want to have a party.
yeah.
Okay.
So I think I'm talking my way into the different tailgate parties so that we can have a good time here.
Okay. Not no tension involved in this role. It
Okay.
sounds like you're being cool.
Yeah. And probably jaw to talk my way in.
That makes sense.
I don't think blackmail or theft or smuggling makes any difference. Um, so I don't think any of my stuff is there. So I think I'm at 7. And what I what difficulty do you think this is?
I think you need a couple successes.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and throw in a cart because I think it's good to. I was messed up with the Gilded Fangs, and I want to make sure that this looks good. So I think I'm at 8 dice. I want to make sure that Uncle celebrates getting out of prison. See what that looks like. Okay, that is 5 successes. Yeah.
Oh man, five successes. That's great. I'll give you a choice. Um, there is, by the way, the Ariadu, who are the visiting team, their um, mascot is an ape-like creature known as the Veermok, Veermok. Uh, they are a known as a ferocious species of clawed and fanged primates, and of course the Veermok for the Lemmy Championship is dressed in like a tux. He has these wicked gore dripped claws, but he's dressed all in finery. So here's the question for Gopher. First, there's a question from chat that I wanted an answer to. When you guys were on the ride, is Uncle at the head of the ride, or is Gopher retain that position?
Gopher is sort of like the host of the ride,
Hmm.
but I think Uncle is the one we're showing off.
Nice. Cool. I like that. So you can easily get everybody in, get them loaded up, get with a lot of uh professional escorts and party folk if you go into the Veermok side of the party. Or you could potentially have some connections to some of your local friends, countrymen, and the like, but not nearly as the food isn't as good. The drugs aren't as expensive. The possibility of profit is zero. But with the role that you have, I'll give you one profit for the gang if you hang out, if you betray your Niamos, Limmy, Paliki, and party down with the Veermok.
So I want to, in my head canon, the Paliki. You said that this was originally from Naboo, and in
Hmm.
my mind, the Paliki, that mascot for the natives here from Niamos, is representative of tourists, right? Our native fowl that our whole team was based off of is really just something brought in to bring in more money and more tourists.
You're not
Um,
wrong.
yeah. So I think that we party with the people from what was the planet?
Ariadu.
Niamos? Ariadu. Thank you. And in fact, I think the place that we run into the party that we run into that's like one of the best well off is like with Yee's folks, right? Because they're from
Nice.
Ariadu, and I think we show up, we see the big to do, we see all, they have the best caterers, they have the best food, they have the best, setup, and we go in and I see Yee in the distance, and she kind of slinks away, but I think that that's whenever I put two and two together, and I'm like, oh, that's the party we're at. That's great justice.
Uh, when you see Yi, it takes a moment to recognize her
Mm.
because all of the product in her mohawk is gone, and she has a haircut similar to Sin. It like just slides over to the side now, so it's just side shaved and then hair coming down off to the side. And she's not wearing her shades. You can see her actual eyes, which you saw when you guys made out on the top of one of the hab cones, but
Yeah.
it looks very different. Sin, when the Paliki were first introduced to Niamos, I think you were very young. Is did your mom actually get into the idea of Paliki and this new species, the birds are so pretty, or did she reject it?
I like the idea that there would be a Piliki team, or I'm sorry, a Lemmy team that predated the
Mm,
Piliki, which is like they're the team of that's associated with a different city for a little bit further away,
like
and we
Kansas City
weren't
Athletics or something kind of deal. I
right.
dig that.
So that's the team that like that most of that older people or is many of the townies actually support. Uh, and so my mom was very scornful of the Paliki. I think I, being so young, and I'm going to make this sort of a metaphor for the reception of the Phantom Menace in general. Uh, I have some affection for them because I was so young, and so it does actually give me a little bit of like a thrill on my spine, right? To see them in the championship game, even though I don't really follow Lemmy.
Oh, that's
Civic pride
awesome.
or whatever.
Do do we think they were the Ridgebacks?
That's fun. Yeah.
Cool. Cool. Good
And
stuff.
I'm
Love
just
it.
now putting together that's what those turtles are. That's why.
Yes. Yes. Sin realizes the truth of it. Okay. I
It's like the thing in Usual Suspects where I'm like all the pieces are coming together and I'm seeing all
see
the
a little
strings
piece
connecting
of a
the things.
coffee cup and
Right,
everything.
exactly. Yep. Everything goes to slow motion.
I am going to roll a single D6 on a 1, 2, or 3. The Ariadu Veermox won the Lemmy match. On a 4, 5, or 6, the Niamos Paliki won the Lemmy match. Here we go. Here's our D6. It'll pop up here in last roll. Oh, it appears that the Wehrmacht
Hmm.
trashed the Palicki. One, I'll use a scale, and I think that did they even score? I think they scored at one point, and it was called back on a penalty. And if this is a soccer score, I think 4-0 is pretty devastating, right? So the Wehrmachts won 4-0. The last period, they they cycled out their whole team and brought in all of their, you know, irregulars and wannabes,
So they
and the
they took
Plicky
out all the
almost
ringers and put in their real team,
yes.
and even the
Oh, two
real
halves to
team.
soccer. You're right. You're right. So in the second half, in the last part of the second half, uh, they brought in all the like actual Ariadu folks, nobles and the like, who bought their way onto the team but never played except in unimportant bits. And the Paliki almost scored on them but didn't. It was that bad. So you guys going in with the Ariadu Wehrmacht, they are it's a titanic victory celebration. They are going to the core worlds now for the next phase of the Lemmy Championship. Because I'm imagining it's like World Cup. This was like, sub-regionals, because you guys are out in the middle of nowhere type deal. Um, which means even better for you guys. That's why you had such an incredible role, Gopher. You guys could get as messed up as you wish, and you know that you are protected, that the Ariadu have an agreement with the shore authority, and as long as no one causes problems with the folks from Ariadu, and everything goes at this
So
point.
Gopher does not party as the road captain. She makes sure to keep an eye on everybody else in the gang that they don't mouth off about Ariadu or the Vermox or anything like that, and hedges them off to make sure that everybody has a good time, but they don't say, tourists suck or something.
So, who of the three of you, Granny, Sin, or Uncle? By the way, I think all of our NPCs, like the whole gang, went out for this ride. Blaster is here. He just is always in the background. We
Hmm.
like CGI'd him in to be in a few scenes, so Cody can feel like he wasn't excluded. Because Blaster would be here. I mean, come on, let's be honest. He's just quiet and subdued. Granny, Sin, or Uncle? Which of the three of you says something about Ariadu or tourists or about the locals that potentially causes a problem?
It could be me, but if someone else wants to take it, I'm happy to let them.
I don't know that I'd
We
say.
haven't seen much from Granny. I think
Yeah,
that'll be fun.
yeah, go for it.
Yeah, uh, I think Granny doesn't. I think she turns to someone who she thinks is also like has the same sentiment. Is just there leeching off the party, and says something disparaging about um, uh, about both teams probably, and turns out she had misjudged who that person was.
And I think that's when
Nice.
Gopher steps in with um, literally sees this and hears part of it, across the room, grabs a platter from one of the waiters who's walking by, the whole platter, and walks up and kind of stuffs it in between the two of you and is like, "Here, have some of this."
You're technically still on a ride, Granny. It seems like Gopher is trying to intervene herself to
Mhm.
offer you an opportunity to extricate yourself from this angry person from Ariadu. I think it's maybe uh oh, we already have a portly Gungan in blue and yellow, so let's go with a non-human. That'll be fun. Ooh, I think we'll go with a Zabrak. Not red, but they have some yellow Zabraks, like the one from the Knights of the Old Republic video. big fight announcement of the game when it first came out. Old Republic, not Silver, but the Old Republic game. Anyway, Zabrak, who's very tut and quite upset about the thing you said about the locals, and go for you slide in with some
I think
foods.
it's a platter of food and drink. I
Nice.
think the drink is like a local some of the local brew that we got that that came from that brew pub. But there are Chandrilla squigs, which are like little worms that you add
Oh
to enhance
yeah.
flavors. So we add, a little bit of that, and I put one of them in this Zabrak's hand and say, and then I toast. I toast to the winning team.
Nice. Nice. Okay, you toast the winning team. You're obviously not dressed in the fineries of everyone. Like you guys are here, but you're like cute accessories. Look, some of the locals even agree with us and the wonder of the Wehrmacht. So, oh yeah, I think the Wehrmacht plural is still called Wehrmacht because that sounds slightly intimidating. Let's let's put it to a roll. Let's see if you guys get in a little bit of trouble. I think that's interesting.
I suggest that it's Granny who makes the roll, and I'll
Yeah,
support.
you're urging the role. You could
Yeah,
Yeah,
potentially
yeah, yeah.
help go for Granny.
yeah.
I'm gonna say that this is normal, but tension is
Mhm.
involved in the role because
Yeah,
you've offended this
that
Deveronian.
sounds fair. And I think I need to be cool.
100%.
Uh, and I think this is Jaw.
Yeah.
Because I think, yeah, I play along with Gopher, like toasting, but my heart's not really in it. And I'm doing kind of like, there's probably a somewhat snide tone to it. The question is, does that surface, or is it just something like I'm winking at Gopher or yeah, or does it come across as I'm actually being rude? And I don't give a cark, so I'm not going to put anything else into it. But I've got 6 dice, so that's
I'm gonna give a
probably
Kark.
cool.
Yeah.
And I have 7 dice, which may be worse for me because there's a bigger risk of rolling a one, but that's fine.
It's
Yeah, I agree with the thing in chat. Um, oof, this is yeah, I get 4 successes, but I get 2 ones, and I only had 2 cards. So
okay. So what that means is it doesn't it's not gonna kill you, but I think what happens, you tell me if this is wrong. You end up feeling like you've bought into this or sold out. And the
yeah,
guy drinks a squig and the party swirls around you and you hate that uh you
mhm.
had a little bit of fun, maybe.
Yeah, I think this is when the party takes a turn for the worse for Granny. She starts drinking a lot more than she probably should. So they probably have to carry her out of it.
Yeah, and I think Gopher's right there. That's kind of my job now. Um, where I'll take Granny, pull her out. She's obviously had too much to drink, and get ready to head back.
Cool. Sin, there's a bit within this where some music is playing and a guy your age, clean cut, uh never probably never been in a fight, um, dressed well. He comes up and he asks if you want to dance. Like right, he kind of doesn't push anyone out of the way. He just makes a beeline to come up as you are near the rest of your gang and asks if you want to dance. What do you do?
Was that to me or to?
Oh, that was to Sen. Did I?
Okay, yeah.
I don't think I phrased it very well. So,
I'm
Sen,
sorry.
you
Nope,
are
I missed
there
that.
amongst the group, and a clean-cut guy your age who you could have gone to school with if he actually, went, if you actually went to
I
school.
actually went to school. Yeah.
Yeah, you actually went to school.
Um, yeah, I think I'm feeling a little loose tonight, even though the team that I surprised myself by caring about got pummeled so badly, uh, which maybe is an experience I can relate to since my gang got pummeled badly a couple weeks ago.
That's true.
Uh, no, just a one. Anyway, yeah, I think I would throw myself into that and maybe have a little too much fun.
Nice. Yeah, this guy asks your name, and he's, of course, here from Ariadu, and he humble brags about the space yacht that he came in on with his family. And I think his name is Kesh Haldaro. We'll
Okay.
stick him in. And he asks, so you're from here, right?
Uh huh. I was born here and I lived here my whole life,
Oh, that's so zang. That's so zang. This is such a beautiful place.
right?
It's really nice. So, which hab are you in?
Oh, it's back off the beach a little bit.
And he like, do, well, you're a prospect, so you probably don't have the cut. Like you don't have the synth leather jacket or anything. What quaint clothing item does he find to say, "Oh, this looks really interesting. I've never seen this before."
If I knew that we were going partying, I think I probably have like a jacket that that my mom left behind that is maybe a little too big, a little too long in the sleeves for me. But
Hmm.
you know, it's the only nice. It's probably just like uh, I don't know, not fast fashion or whatever, but like a mass produced kind of thing. It's not like it's finery. Um, but it's what I think of as a nice jacket. Uh, so it's what I wear for special occasions. But it's dated. It's like if I wore an '80s, a jacket from the '80s today.
Cool. He's like, you know, that that is great. It looks so good on you.
Thanks.
I love that it's
Show
like
off a
circled
little bit.
back around. You're not sure what he
Yeah.
means by that, but and it's I think it's a little chaste. Like he knows that there are people around. Maybe this is just a fun bit for him. Not a bit, but a fun night out. He
Right.
flirts with you. It's a good time. Maybe he asks for your like some way to contact you later.
Uh, I would probably give him not a com, but actually like an email equivalent. I don't know what we call that. I don't want anybody calling like uh, because it would do maybe he would discover who I really am, and I would rather pretend to be somebody else tonight.
Cool. Yeah, he's oh, how quaint. This is I think I have an account in that. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's
It's
probably like
fine.
it's like if I gave him a MySpace instead of an Insta, right? It's like it's dated technology or whatever.
He files it away, like stuffs it in a pocket, or maybe takes it down in a little data pad thing when you call it out to him. And yeah, then that's it. It's just a light bit. Maybe he will reach out to you later.
I think
Probably
he's
not.
going to.
You think he is going to? Then he definitely isn't. No, maybe
Right.
he will. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see.
I think
Anything
this
else
is.
you? Hmm?
I don't think that Sen has had a lot of like romantic experiences. Uh, at one point, when you said it was Chase, I thought I was expecting that he was gonna like kiss her on the cheek or something, and I was like, that might be her first kiss.
Oh, that's so sweet. Yeah,
No,
let's say that happens because that's just great.
so she's gonna like invest a little too much in this. Like this boy really likes me. Uh, I got to find out more about him. She'll
Yeah.
she'll once she gets away, once they're separated, she'll probably just start like combing through the network to try to like find out who is he, what does his family do, etc.
Oh my gosh, I just looked sci-fi fashion try to find a picture for this Kesh Haldaro, and this picture has to be his. Here we go. Kesh Haldaro, everyone.
Oh my gosh.
Yes! Look at that. That is just that's Sin's first kiss right there, friends.
I just very recently rewatched that episode of Firefly with the big party where Kaylee gets the frilly dress. So
Oh,
I'm sort of incorporating elements of that into.
very good. Very good. Awesome. Are there any other things folks want to do, scenes folks wanted to explore in the big party or anything like that? Okay, cool. Uh, then you guys party until the sober-headed gopher ends the ride and Granny is carried out of there, and you guys make your way back to the motel in the wee hours. Maybe we even see the sun starting to rise again as everyone heads into your rooms to crash. Um, Uncle Vanessa is out. She's chatting briefly with Al. Al has a death stick. Two of them are out on the balcony, and there there's a mood. Tired.
Mhm.
It's imagine 4 a.m. 5 a.m. really, if the sun's starting to come up. And Vanessa would break off from Al and come over. Welcome back, Uncle.
Happy to be back. Good night.
No,
What? Why?
one of the girls had some trouble. I'm dealing with it.
Should have looked at Al.
Al's takes a draw from the death stick. I would have killed him. Granny stopped me.
Ugh.
It's all right. That wouldn't make things easier. It'd only make things harder.
I guess so. Anyone we know, or just a rando?
A tourist. Sampling the local fare.
Well, hopefully, once all this dies down, things will get a little bit better.
I'm glad to see that you're back. I was worried that you wouldn't make it back.
You just gotta take it as it comes. Granny's Granny's got all your best interests at heart. So
And then I think we see Granny getting kind of carried back to her room behind you. And Vanessa looks and you notice, yeah, Granny's messed up, but it's a big party. There are no recriminations here. It's just a she comes up and just slides a hand on the side of your arm. Welcome back. I'm glad that you made your Phoenix ride.
sure it won't be the last one.
Hmm. And then she'll turn and head past Al and into her room and close the door.
I think I kind of lean into Al, like not menacing, just like a little bit more like fake discreet. Um, just be like, "Were you really gonna kill that guy?"
You cut her up. She's never going to work again.
Hmm.
This bitch die.
Let me see what I can do.
All right. And he takes another hit and he kind of reaches the pack and pops out a death stick and offers you it from the pack.
Definitely.
Nice. Nice.
And I think Uncle is also like super fucked up, but is able to at least present holding it together more. But she's like, yes, this is something to hold on to.
And I think that the death sticks that Al likes have just a hint of clove in it, so it does that fire
Mm,
crackling sound when you take a draw or a
mm.
pull off of it. It you know, it doesn't taste as bad as it should. The
Right.
clove and the mint adds something to the death stick so that it doesn't just taste like
Thumbs a little bit.
yeah. Gopher, you've played Mother Hen to the whole gang. A lot of them got seriously messed up. A few of them overate, maybe threw up a few times. Um, it's super, super late. And as we take a look at the Night Blossom Motel, I think we never quite defined. We know where Gopher stays. We don't know where Sakatra stays.
Point.
Do you head
I
back to your room once everybody seems settled?
Yeah, once I get everybody home, I think I head back to my room. I think Sakatra's room is probably going to be on the second floor.
Okay.
Maybe like room 9.
All right. Yeah, she
Yeah.
gets that's a really good view. When you settle in, there's a knock at your door. It's your sister.
Um, we've all been busy today, sis. What's going on?
Let me in.
Yeah, okay. I let her in.
It was a bad night tonight.
What do you mean?
Anama, she got cut up pretty bad. She's going
Okay,
to look, and she points at her own face. She's going to look messed up.
okay.
So
What
these
I'll do.
Iriadu folks, these assholes, they've got Bacta with them.
Yeah, I know where Simbakta is.
Well, I want you to get it so Anama doesn't have to listen. I know what it's like.
Yeah, got it. Uh, I understand. Um, Let me think for. I get up, throw on my jacket, and walk out of the room. I'm trying to decide, do I tell anyone where I'm going?
Mm-hmm.
And I
Yeah.
think I come out and I see, um, what's her name? Was it Vanessa?
Yeah.
I see Vanessa and Al. Uncle, are you still there or have you
Well,
left?
actually, you wouldn't see Vanessa went into her room, so you probably see Al
Okay,
and Uncle just
Without.
sharing
okay.
smoke.
I think whenever I see them, I stop and I realize, okay, while I'm not messed up, I'm not, I'm also tired after a long day, and I probably can't handle this by myself.
Mm.
Ooh, ooh. Okay, so here's my suggestion. I'm gonna go to Uncle. I'm gonna tell Uncle, so I guess you heard about, the girl.
Yeah,
And you know that earlier we messed up the Gilded Fangs.
yeah, and they look pretty good. Do you think
Yeah,
that's what Uncle was thinking when he was saying, "Let me see what I can do." So,
yeah. So, um, how are you? Um, are you up for are you up for a trial?
you know,
I'm pretty beat. Um, and I lean in and I say, "How about we make this Sin's initiation?"
And Uncle gets a big smile. like, I like the way you think.
So I think we're gonna go get Sin. Um, and if uh, and I think Granny needs to be in on this too because she's been around a while.
Mm.
Um, and I think the idea here is to tell Sin, this is your chance to show what this gang means to you because we're about to go protect one of our own, and it's going to impact her future. Um, and I think you should lead this.
I
Let's see
think
how you do it.
when you tell Sen what happened to, was it Anama?
Uh-huh.
That's obviously gonna mean a lot to Sen, right? That like she wants to do something about this. Um, so yeah, whatever like trace of like looseness or kind of partying mode was she was still carrying around. That's gone, and she's all business right away. Um,
So I think we'll gather out in the uh in the foyer, and I'll look to Sin and say, "What's your plan?"
it's funny you ask that. I've actually been uh, pulling together some data on medical droids. Uh, I'd had a notion that maybe we would heist one to start, not only to care for our own, but also to. I thought maybe a clinic for the neighborhood would be a good idea. Uh,
Nice.
so I've located a couple of a couple of well, there's a guy over in the Habs who has one, um, an old guy. I've been pulling together a file on him. Um, Based on what you said about the uh, Gilded Fangs, sounds like they have Bacta. Uh, Maybe we can, if we can get some Bacta from them to stabilize her right away, keep the scars from developing. That buys us some time to put together a plan for getting a hold of a droid.
Perfect. Do you want to hit him? Do you want to talk to him?
I think we talked to them. I think your friend is pretty chastened by the experience that she had with Uncle, and I think maybe she would be willing to give up some of their supply,
I think
as
this is the
the
first
price
uncle.
for getting safely off planet.
I think this is the first uncle has heard that she's Gopher's friend, and like raises an eyebrow to that.
And I kind of,
Did I overstep there? Did Sen not know?
I
oh
think
no,
Sin.
Sin
I
knew.
want Sin no.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Sin knew, but
Then
Uncle
yes, I
didn't.
said
So
okay.
I kind
So
of
I
wave
was
at
right.
Uncle. Discussion for a later time. Um, and I say, Sin, you take point. Um, we'll be, you know, the gang backs you up, so we'll be nearby. And then I'm gonna pull Granny off to the side. So Granny, you went to your room, right?
I mean, I was pretty much out cold, I think.
Yeah.
So I was carried to my room.
Mm.
Ah. Um, I
But I
think I,
do want to be in on this at some stage. That doesn't mean, I mean, if you do the first things right away and I join in at some part later, because just out of character, what Granny wants to do is go after the guy who did this, like find him again, and that's her priority.
yeah. So I think
Um,
I go up to your room. Do you think you locked it?
no,
No, no. Someone had to carry you in, so I
yeah,
just
I'm
barge
just
right
like
into your
face
room.
down on the bed.
Yeah, and I sit down and I pull out a syringe and I hit you with a stim. right? Um, and this is kind of like having an eight ball where, you were out of it and then all of a sudden you are jazzed, right? You had gotten a big hit of adrenaline and stimulant, and as soon as you come to, I explain the situation. Yeah.
What's going on? What's going on? What happened?
Um, Anama Anama was cut up today, and um Al said that he was about to kill the guy, but you stepped in,
Oh,
and we're gonna take Sin. Sin's gonna try and talk the Lewis family, probably Ye, into getting us some Bacta for Anama. And we're playing backup. So I need you ready to back up Sin if things go south.
I'm yeah, yeah, of course. Yeah. Um Kark, I didn't know. Yeah, of course. Anything.
Well, none of us knew. I mean, it was rowdy. We took off. We took off when they needed us. So we're going to see if we can't make that right.
Al knew and I just but yeah, that's for later. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
But I think like Graham is still pretty fucked up. I think she's going to, unless someone is like leading her to the right place, I think she's just going to take off and try to find the guy instead of
Oh,
going with the plan.
no, Gopher's definitely not leaving you alone.
Mhm,
Um, and because you know, I know what kind of loose cannon you were whenever you were at the party. Um,
mhm.
but I'm keeping an eye on you to make sure I hit you with a pretty heavy stim, so I want to make sure you don't pass out or, go into shock or something.
Yeah, yeah. I think
Um,
I'm pretty right now. I'm like really hyper,
yeah.
and but if you guide me, I will go to the right.
And I think our idea is Sin's going to talk, and if it turns south, then we're going to hit him, with whatever we need to get Sin out and get that back to. Um, but I think whenever you say you didn't know, and I say nobody knew, we all took off on a ride, we didn't know what was happening, and I lean forward and I say, I know from Sakatra what it's like for a working girl to not have to be marked like this. And you know from your scars and your time with the three fish hooks what avenues, you know, what's left for it. It's a hard life. Um, so I think we should do whatever we can, try to make sure that you can, they don't, so that Anama doesn't have to live the hard life that we have. Are you in, Granny?
Yeah, of course. But that Slimo is gonna pay.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you know what he looks like. You know exactly what he looks like. We'll figure him out. I don't know who it was. I just know it was a tourist, but we'll get him.
We gotta get him before they all go off planet. I
Uh,
mean, they'll be
First priority is an Anama,
yes,
but
yes, yes, of course.
we'll hit. Right after that, we'll go after. I agree. We'll go after that Slimo. Um, so does that count as a heartfelt moment?
That was where I was listening. What I think maybe let's ask a couple people who observed the scene. Do we feel like that was a bonding moment for the group, for the pair? Cool.
I think so.
All right. Then yes, you have bonded. It like started off, I'm just gonna stimmer and go, and I was like, oh, that's not bonding. But then it did. You talked about why it matters, and I think that does hit. So that means you have 5 carts to distribute between the two of you.
Granny, why don't you take 4 and I'll take 1?
Let's do 3-2 because you're also down. You're down to just one.
I am, but I also wanted to see you kick some ass. So yeah, okay,
Yeah, but I can do that on 3 cards. That's fine.
okay, sounds good.
I threw a pick in for Anama. I wanted to check and make sure if folks thought that was okay or too cyberpunky. You can click on my icon and it'll jump straight to the pick.
Yeah, that's fine.
Cool. All right. This appears to be your thing. Send your ride, your big chance. What's your plan?
Um, I'm going to. Well, we're going to their ship, right? That's where they live on the ship, right? Or do they have a
They
hotel? Do we know?
do. They live on the ship.
Um, I want to have lots of people behind me. So we're going in force. So it could just be this group or maybe Blasters. I don't know. Maybe he's with us. Maybe he's
No,
helping
if
out.
you want us to
Helping.
go in force and have a lot of backup, we'll bring the whole gang.
Okay.
Should we bring Al?
I don't
Then?
think so.
Okay.
No, I think we leave Al back. I mean, we can do enough violence with just the gang members. We don't need the clone trooper. Uh, okay, so yeah, I think we walk up and uh, if they don't let us in, then maybe I see if I can uh, slice their gang plank,
Nice.
get us in.
I was trying to find where I had written down the name of their cool ship, and I am having trouble. Huh.
I remember you giving it a name.
Oh, okay. Well, then there we go. We don't have to worry about that.
Just
Uh,
assume that it has one.
we assume it has one. It is a sleek, dark ship that it looks like a piece of obsidian glass shaped into an artistic dagger that cuts through the inky black of space. It has very few. Like it's the shiny Clone Wars or like prequels era type of ship. When you first approach, it's slightly hovering over the hangar floor as if it's too good to settle down with landing gear. And there are no seams. You're not entirely sure, at least at first glance, where the gangplank might be. You wanted to talk to them and see if they would open up, is that right?
Yeah, I know that Gopher knows where the gangplank is because
Mm-hmm.
she's actually seen them open up and emerge.
Yeah,
So maybe I'll ask.
fantastic. And I think in that case, um, I have Ye's number.
You do.
So I'm going to call Ye and say, I need you to come down here.
Um, why?
I'll tell you when you get down here. You'll be talking to Sin.
Then she hangs up on you.
Oh, we'll give it a minute. And if it's apparent that they are not responding, then I'm going to look for there has to be a data port somewhere on the exterior of the ship,
Yeah.
even if it's hidden behind some kind of panel. So I'm gonna
Yeah,
look
you
for
head
that.
to where maybe Gopher points out where the gangplank was. You end
Yep.
up at one point running your hand over and something just slides out, and you see there are a couple of data ports. There's some faint glowing indicators.
Okay. I've got a
This
little data
is,
pad with the R2D2 finger to
yeah,
reach in there, and
your slicing is
I'm going to try to
perfect.
slice.
However, this is some very advanced technology, and I think tension is involved in the roll. This is carking hard. You will need
Okay.
4 successes.
Wow. All right. Well, I've got 1 for trying. I've got 3 for being cool, trying to stay chill here. This is my big moment.
Hmm.
Um, I've got 3 for using tools, and I've
Yep.
got 1 for
Slicing.
slicing
That's 8.
expertise. I think I'll spend 2 carks.
Uncle, as we, I believe, as a reminder, we defined that this hangar bay is very much similar to the hangar bay from Tatooine. So it's like exposed to the open air, the beautiful beach, uh, and it's a circular area. There are a few droids who are here for maintenance. How did you deal with them, Uncle?
The droids.
Yeah.
um, Probably kind of dismissively. Probably just like pointing them in the wrong direction and giving them a shove, unless they resist somehow, and then
I mean, the Gonk droid does not resist, but
yeah,
also doesn't move very quickly.
pick it up and place it down and give it a little shove.
Little legs move when you carry it there for a second. The I think these are pit droids, but
Mm,
they're in like Niamos colors.
right.
So like sky blue pit droids that are pretty squeaky clean. You push them out of the way. Granny, you're hopped up on whatever 8 ball Gopher gave you and feeling a little better, but still it's like 6 in the morning at this point. How are you dealing with with Finn trying to hack into the ship and Uncle dealing with the droids? What are you doing?
I think I'm alternating between like yelling at the droids and kicking at this ship, just like not actually doing any damage, just over energized and angry and not knowing what to do with all of that.
Nice. Cool. And
And
Gopher, you're there near Sin helping out. I see that Gopher's giving a kark,
yeah,
which
since
sounds
since
great.
Sid asked, Gopher's going to give a card saying, this is where the gangplank was, this is where the controls would be, that kind of thing.
Great. So I'm spending 2 of my own, so that gives me a pool of 11 dice, trying to get 4 successes. I think I'm going to be okay here.
Oh, I love that you say that before the dice roll. That's great. Let me quickly share screen so we can all see together.
Ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Good luck.
Couple of
That's one,
ones.
two, three, four, five, six. 6 successes with a couple of ones. What do you think knocks a couple of carks out of you? Is it just the sheer stress of what's going on? Is there something else? Did you fail a couple of times and have
I
to keep
think
trying? What do you
I
think?
think despite my assertion that I'm being cool, this is extremely emotional for me because it's bringing back all these thoughts about my mom and the need to uh, protect the girls and to deliver maybe some kind of justice 6 years later for that Imperial that got away with shit with my mom. Um, so I think she's just a little emotionally overwhelmed. Also, the stress of like this is my initiation.
Yeah, yeah. And just doing a little work with your tools, wipe your sweaty brow, and then eventually, and then the gangplank. It just kind of folds and then slides out, and you hear the low hum inside the ship. It's in some kind of sleep mode. There's no party going on in this thing.
Okay. Um, I kind of think in terms of going on board, I think I maybe only want Gopher. Um, we don't want this to look like we're trying to, deliver violence. This is supposed to be peaceful. Uh, I also don't want to go in alone, and I do need somebody there to like witness my success if I have it. So go. I'm gonna ask Gopher to come. Uh, I will also, if I can, with my extra success, since I got 6 over 4, can I sort of lock it down from flying away for the time being, just so that if it goes to violence, Granny and Uncle can jump on the gangplank and run up.
Sure.
Okay,
Sure.
cool. Did we get Karks for the celebration?
You did not mechanically celebrate.
Okay.
You just had a good time. So
Okay.
no.
Okay. So between the 2 that I spent and the 2 that I lost for the tension, I'm down to 1.
Correct.
Okay. All right. So let's get on board.
Okay.
Gopher, back me up.
And I turn around, I look at Uncle, and I, point, I'm going in.
The pit droids like jabber at each other in binary, but they're not going to deal with the uncle. Just
And I think Granny is about to follow you up the gangplank until Uncle or Blaster or someone like grabs her and pulls her back.
anybody who turns on a certain kind of subtitles will see that the pit droids are talking to each other. One of them says, "I think I can stun him," and the other one says, "No, he's very drunk. This will not work. That's a Klaatu Indian. What are you, an idiot?" Um, and then another says, "Well, should we inform the occupants?" And you say, "No, they are invaders." So, Sen, you lead the way. Gopher behind. Again, ship and sleep mode. Very few lights on. It's dim in the corridors, and you don't really know spaceships. So I think it's only luck that you enter the room that opens up and you see there's a back to tank, a whole entire back to tank, and you see in um a pair of like underoos, right, with no arms because the other arm has evidently been removed while he is in the tank, is the member of the Fangs known as Travis Davis. You can see the part where the meat has been ripped from the cybernetic arm that Uncle, sent what happened. So you can see the after effects of what has been done to this guy. He's got the ski mask thing going on. He's out of it. He's asleep. He's just hovering in the back to, and you see that there is a B1 droid, the B1 that we remember from replacing Luke's hand and the like. And he, greetings and salutations.
Bridge this way.
Yes.
I'll just walk past him.
Okay. Cool. So you make your way up to the bridge and you see that it is like more of a cockpit than a bridge. There's a pilot, co-pilot seat, and you see asleep on the controls is Geo, the guy with the big hair with his cool bandana thing. The bandana's gone, the hair is just a mess, and he looks like he's passed out. What do you do?
Not here for him. So, Gopher, you know anything about these controls?
I can fly things. What are you looking to do?
Well, they're locked out from leaving, so I was contemplating whether we wanted to shut down the engines, but I don't think so.
Yeah, we
After
don't
we're
need to. I agree. I don't think we need to um, disable the ship. We just need to get the medical supplies and go.
Yep. I just don't want them to agree and then renege before we can unload. So Yeah, let's go find Yi.
Um, from the bridge, we should be able to get a layout of where everything is.
Sweet. Let's just make it a nice tension is not involved. Oh, you know what? Maybe they have security. Tension's involved in this role. You're messing with the bridge of a highly secure, advanced, and expensive spaceship.
How difficult do I think it would be?
I think it's normal.
That's just one.
Two. You need two successes. But it is because tension is involved. You could lose two cards, which means Sin. Yeah, you could. This could go badly for
I
you.
don't think I can do this right now because I need to be able to have the conversation with Yi. So
Um,
I'm gonna kind of blow it off. Like I don't want to spend the time on that.
okay, agreed. I'll go with you.
Okay.
So your plan then is to scout out the rest of the ship looking for Yi, correct?
Yep. Or maybe just call to her.
Okay.
We're on board already.
Yeah. It's a
She can't ignore us this
the
time.
layout of the ship. It's again, it's very much a triangle, like a very skinny triangle, and the layout. So there's a point cockpit, and then there are two corridors. Most of the ship's functions are in the interior, and the um, not
Cabins.
bunks, but quarters are along the exterior. You also saw the med bay. Um, so as you head down, calling for Yi quietly, she doesn't answer, but one of the doors opens and you see Wassel, Waz, with a blaster pistol. And Waz steps out and is about to bring it to bear. What do you do?
I'm going to flick open my comm so that Uncle and Em can hear. And I'm going to say, we're not here for violence. We just want to talk.
Okay, talk. You can see this. It's like a gleaming, beautiful blaster. It's powered up.
Mm.
Go
Where's
ahead and
Yi?
talk. She's with her parents.
We need Bacta.
Well,
And you
go
guys
to
are
a
going to give it to
hospital.
us. That's not how it works here. You guys have plenty. You owe us.
You are being badass. I think this is normal. It would be harder if he had any more bravado, but he has suffered a beatdown just earlier this evening from
Mm-hmm.
one guy and his friend's arm. He's not bruised at all because, as you said, lots of Bacta. So, normal difficulty, you'll need two successes. Tensions involved in the roll. He has a gun.
Okay.
One for doing it. I
So
think
one
you're
for
being
doing it,
badass.
one for badass. I'm going to ask if I can use heart for this because I'm very emotional in this whole scene.
Absolutely. Absolutely. This is exactly the time for this.
Okay. So that gives me 4, and my expertises don't apply.
I'm going to give a Kark.
Okay.
And the way that looks on screen, as I step forward and I say, um, life is hard here. And I think you got a taste of that. And, you know, this is something you could do to make up for um, playing um, in our arena.
Nice. It is a very good speech. The dice will tell us if he has a change of heart and gives in or not.
So I think I'm at 66. might as well throw my own Kark in there too, right? Because if I
You certainly can. Yeah, I mean, you're going to lose two or you're going to lose zero. Or you can no, actually, you could even succeed in this empiric
yeah,
victory.
yeah.
You can't go negative in Karks,
Right,
so I
right.
understand what
That's
you're
what I'm
doing.
thinking. Yeah. I'm thinking why hold on to it if I yeah.
But you'll have to think of how you could exit the scene. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if I lose all my Karks, that doesn't mean I'm unconscious. It just means I'm out of the like I'm
Right.
despondent or whatever, right? Like
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna hold that Kark. We're
Okay.
gonna. You said I need one success.
You need two
I
successes.
need two
This is
successes.
normal difficulty.
Okay. Oh boy.
Not a single one. Not a single one. Oh, the
Okay.
dice. What Wassel to be swayed, to be persuaded to come to your side. There's a moment as he considers, he looks at the two of you, and then pushes something on the blaster pistol, and you hear it power down. Come on. And he'll walk up and back to get to the med bay, and he goes in and quickly keys in some kind of sequence, and the drawer opens up, and you see vials upon vials of Bacta and a couple of sprays as well. And he just picks out one and hands it to you. There.
I'm gonna reach for a handful more.
He narrows his, well, he can't narrow his eyes because he has the cyber eyes, but his mouth is tight, but he
Just one
doesn't
hand.
stop
I'm
you.
not being greedy.
Yeah, he doesn't say anything. It's just the mouth tight, like you're pushing it, but he doesn't say anything. And yeah, you have a lot of Bacta.
Okay.
I think as we go to leave, I nod my head at him.
You broke his heart.
You broke mine. She'll get over it.
Is the comm still open?
Yeah.
I think that I kind of aside to Granny, like should have broke her head.
Waz overhears through my comm. Son of a bitch.
I know there was something going on there.
He doesn't
Okay.
reach for his gun. You guys can leave, and I think that's where we Sin steps out. Is there anything from Granny or Uncle as Sin has a handful of Bacta vials and a couple sprays? Proving nods. Good. We'll deal with the ceremony, if there is one, for Sin in our next session.
Yeah.
And
Good thing
we'll
we'll have
do,
Cody for that because I'm sure he knows all the ins and outs.
I hope so. At the end of every ride, the entire table, GM, and players discuss the following questions. Did you clash with someone who threatened your people, your club, and the locals who matter to you?
Yes.
Sure did.
Rich, did you want to go turn on the oven?
I do. Thank you. Let me pause. I'll be right back. Thank you, Adesh. So we have some questions for the entire group. Did you clash with someone who threatened your people? I think that's an easy yes. Did you add to the legend of your gang?
I think so.
I mean,
Doing that ride after
I
just
would
like
say the ride and
Yeah.
probably the story of what Uncle did to the Gilded
Yeah.
Fangs.
Yeah,
That was very
that's pretty
public.
legendary.
Yeah.
Did you have a conflict with
And
a
the
rival?
Shoresies know about it too.
That's true.
you do it right outside the
Right.
They had
They've got it,
cams
they've
on
got it
it.
on video. Yeah.
Yeah, they're like watching it and laughing and throwing popcorn at the screen.
Mhm.
Did you have a conflict with a rival or the law? Definitely with a rival. So that's three Kark or three XP for everyone, not Kark, sorry. Then I'll go around and pose the question to each player. So we'll start with Granny. Did you support another member of the gang when they needed you?
ooh, I don't think I did. No, I don't think so.
Did you live up to your rep or fulfill your role or rank in the gang?
Um, kind of a mixed bag there as well, I think. I'm not going to take an XP for that for this
I would
question.
suggest that you did. Your role in the gang is to keep us, you know, steady, and you trying to protect the motel at the beginning, even though you were trying to do the right thing, but even though it wasn't, I'd say you were doing you were performing your chaplain duties there.
Mm, yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
I think that
I
works
can buy it.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Cool. Uncle, did you live up to your rep or fulfill your role or
I
rank
did.
in the gang? Yeah, you're an
Definitely.
enforcer.
You had the scene that Cody wanted to have.
Cody did kill late last week, so
Okay.
Did you
Okay.
support another member of the gang when they needed you?
Um, yeah, I think that was the whole
I
like
do too,
getting everything done there.
for sure. I think that works. Former prospect, you're gonna have to figure out what your road name is now.
Yeah, we talked about that while you were
Get
gone.
a week. Oh, did? Awesome. Did you live up to your rep or fulfill your role or rank in the gang?
I did. I mean, I had my initiation, so that's my
Did
job.
you support another member of the gang when they needed you?
I'm going to say that going on the ride for Uncle
Hmm.
constitutes supporting, and in that, if that's true, then I think Granny deserves it too.
Hmm. Fair enough. All right. Gopher, did you live up to your rep or fulfill your role rank in the gang? You're road captain. You
Yep.
decided the road. So yeah. And then did you support another member of the gang when they needed you? Several times you threw in Karks. So definitely. Let's finish up with wishes and stars. We start with wishes so we can end with stars. Who has a wish?
I mean, the obvious get Sen jumped in.
Yeah.
Yeah. And resolve the thing with the guy who cut up Alana one way or the Anna, one way or the other.
Yeah.
Related, I want to receive my Duracrete name, and we talked. We went through your list, Rich, while you were away, and looked for some possibilities, but I don't know what it's going to end up being.
You can always make one up, right? You don't have to take from that
Right.
list. That's just to help. Cool. Steven, any wishes from you?
No, I think that's it. I want to see what happens to the guy who cut up Anama and see the initiation ceremony. Yeah.
Awesome. Did you have any stars?
Yeah, this was a fantastic session. I really liked um uh Sin taking charge there at the end. I liked Granny overindulging. The scene with Uncle in front of the whenever he got jumped was fantastic. It was all really good.
Awesome. Then Sikar, Greg, did you have any stars? Yes.
Yeah, I want to star Granny. I thought the two sequences that I really liked for Granny today were um, getting involved in the possible shooting and stopping that, um, and also the face plant at the party, or after the party.
Nice. Nice. Mark, any stars you wanted to throw out?
Yeah, all that. The coming out with a bang from jail was fun. Um, the seeing both of Granny's big things there were great. The whole hacking sequence into the ship, Sen's little dance, and all that. Like everyone getting back from the ride and be like, "All right, we're going back out." It was all fucked up, so let's keep doing it. Yeah, just get great all around.
Adesh, any last stars from you?
Yeah, a star for the discussion right at the beginning about how to deal with Uncle being in jail. I think that was really good, and we found a good solution for it. I really like Sam interacting with the people on the ship, like the pushing just enough to get what we really need. Um, Gopher keeping uh, Gopher being the one keeping us steady here, or keep the one being the one keeping Granny steady when she was. all over the place. I really like that.
I do too.
Um, and yeah, Uncle's beatdown. That was hilarious.
Just thank you very much. I think that the gilded fangs are gone next session. Like we're going to skip some time. Limmy's over. The fangs are gone. It's over and done with. Cool. Great.
Before we skip
Yes.
time, I would like to resolve the guy who messed up Anama. Yeah.
Agreed. So yeah, we'll make time
We
for
could do that in a
that as well.
flashback.
Oh, that's good. Kind of like that.
Yeah, yeah.
I like that a lot. All right. Thank you all so much for playing. It was an excellent game, and we are right at time, so we'll stop here.